I've had is what type of businesses could I start, right? I can only talk about what I've done. I can talk about what I've done, and I can share my experiences with y'all. All right, so I've gone ahead and started with Airbnb. I've started a car rental business, and now I'm doing something new, which is a studio setup where I get to rent my place out for the camera, photo shoot, studio production. As y'all can see, I'm staying in it now. I live in a high rise, and that's the whole intention of it. Start attracting creative people and start creating podcasts in here, right? So I've been able to do this just leveraging all the business credit on this aspect of it, right? But Airbnb, I'm gonna go and dive in on a little bit deeper on that. Nothing crazy. Airbnb has been good. I got started with no intention of it. It's been good. It's been decent. The best part about it is I went ahead and got started with no money out of my pocket, right? I went ahead and got my business credit started, and I saw that I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,397, so about 1,400 square feet, and it took about $7,000 to fully furnish it. Now, it's nothing crazy. It's just enough to be homey, right? Big couch, beds, and the very basics of it. So I've been able to actually make money on that. And again, I got started with no money out of my pocket, and I opened up a new credit card when I knew I was about to start buying some of those things out. So I was actually making money back, right? So like Amazon rewards. I was making some money back. Oh shit. I was making some money back when it came to really investing into that, right? Again, you want to be very strategic, and you're not just going to be diving in completely blind to it, but you want to have a very good idea of what exactly it is that you're jumping into. You want to get familiar with the type of market that you're jumping into, and the way you do that is, I come from real estate, right? So I'm used to running comps. Now, what does running comps mean is looking at all the comparables in the area, right? You're going to be looking at the houses or the apartments, whatever the case is, and you're going to be looking to see what those days are going for, right? Now, how do you get an idea? There's multiple. There's Rabu, there's AirDNA, Airbnb. Me personally, I just go on Airbnb. The reason being is, I don't like really jumping around. I'm a scientist, data freak. I love looking at all the numbers. I love analyzing markets, right? So I really love dissecting them. And the only way you can tell really is for one, on Airbnb, you're able to see the spot you're in, right? So if you're going to be, I'll just give y'all my example. I got an apartment, right? 1,400 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm in downtown right next to the river. I have everything you could think of surrounding me, which is shopping centers. I have the bars. I have entertainment areas. I have Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. I have all the grocery stores. I have all the trail. I have everything near me, right? So that's exactly what I went ahead and compared it with. Now, you get an idea of what's comparing in that area, right? You want to compare it by 1-bedroom and then 2-bedroom. Look at people's calendars. You want to see how booked up some people stay, right? So for the month of September, you want to get an idea, get a rough estimate on how booked people are, right? And this is where you're going to go around. It's going to take you about 2-3 hours to do this research. Go in there, start clicking on everybody's profile, look at their reviews, right? Now, this is one of the best parts about it. When you start understanding the reviews, that'll give you an idea exactly how to set it up and what not to do, right? So if they say, well, this place sucked, it was dirty, my biggest pet peeve, I stay at an Airbnb and I pay almost the same price as a hotel, and they don't have a fucking shampoo or body wash or soap or toothbrush or water. Like, they don't have shit. right? So me, I'd rather go stay at a hotel. And that's one of the biggest things that you want to look at, right? Is what are some of the things that people don't like seeing around here? And once you start getting an idea of how many days they're being booked up of the month, now start looking at the daily rates, right? What are they charging for on the daily? And then on the weekends. And they'll give you a rough idea, a rough estimate, right? So most places in the city that I'm at, it's booked up about 70% of the month. Now, some way, somehow, I was beating everybody's listing by like $186. I have no idea why. Maybe I chose the right location, but my rent was also way higher than everybody's. So at the end of the day, it ended up being almost the same thing, but it was pretty cool because I got to live there for free for a few weeks. So and then eventually it got too busy, so I ended up moving out and I just got my own place, right? So again, one of the best things about Airbnb is you can put that all under a credit card. When you open up that credit card, just make sure you're familiar with and go for the ones who offer the best incentives, right? Again, Doctor of Credit is really good. They're the ones that break down all the incentives that are attached to whatever it is you're doing, right? So I would look on there and see what the best credit card is for my certain situation, circumstance that I'm going to be investing in, and just go ahead and open it up. The moment I get it approved and everything opened, then I will start buying all the things. Now, I created my list personally for the Airbnb, everything that I needed. Reason being, I had planned to open up a lot more, and I just put it all on a spreadsheet so I could just click it once and I just add it all to the shopping cart, right? So that's one of the biggest things on how I was able to leverage my credit coming out of no money out of pocket to start creating the income. Now the ROI on it, nothing too crazy, nothing exciting. I was bringing in about 1,800 average, best month, a little over 2,000, lowest month. Just recently I took a loss, but for many reasons, it was my error. But again, it's just trial and error, right? So I'm not going to go in too much more deeper than that, just because I don't have in-depth details, right? I only have the information that I have myself that I use every day and how I make these decisions. Now, another business I was able to create was starting a car rental business, right? Now, this is the interesting one. I went from I had a $50,000 car right before, and then I decided to sell my car. I didn't need it for what? I lived in a high rise. I walked everywhere. I rode a bike. So I just decided to get rid of my car. And I moved. I left my hometown. And now I ended up getting a few cars, right? I ended up getting $250,000 debt. And that was simply by leveraging my credit. I used a credit card that offered 0% interest, right, for 10 months. And I used that to pay the down payment. Now, those cars, I put them to work right away. They started running, and I started building out a business with them, right? Now we're growing. Now we're adding in a lot more cars into the fleet. And now I see, well, now I don't really have to own anything because I'm brokering other people's cars out, right? So again, this is all part of the experience, and it's still trial and error. There are some good months, there are some really good months, and there have been some bad months, right? And that's one thing I want everybody to understand. Not every month, just because you go into business, means you're going to be winning every single month. Not in the beginning, at least. But if you put in the work and you give it all that you got, you're going to stay at least neutral for a few weeks, and then you're going to take off, right? Now, there are a few things, all right? Those are the businesses that I've been able to start. Now, I want to show y'all on how you're able to choose what type of business, right? Let me just give y'all. Now let's go into the mindset, right? I want to talk more about mindset and how I've been able to do this. It takes a lot more than just strategy, obviously. It takes actually believing in yourself, right? Believing in what you're doing when you don't come from an environment of business and being able to create for yourself, nobody gave you an opportunity. Um, you have to really go out there and dig the opportunities up on your own. So there's one thing that I really wish I would have known, and that is exactly what I want to show y'all, right? There's a lot of people that really keep making stupid decisions and getting into trouble, committing crimes. Everybody, right? If you look worldwide, everybody is getting into some sort of trouble because of a crime they're committing or they have committed. And it all goes back to the same reason, because of money, right? So one thing people don't realize, to start a business, it does not require a lot, right? And I want to give y'all everything for free so y'all can go ahead and get started. The reason why, I want to be able to grow with everybody, right? There's a lot to get. There's a lot of what would you say? There's a big piece of the pie and there's only so much I can eat, right? And I want to give everybody access to it, because the more people I bring to me, then the more we can build up ourselves, right? There's a lot of people, again, I'm Hispanic, my parents are come from directly from Mexico. They don't have nothing. They didn't give me anything. I didn't grow up with a business or understanding money. I didn't understand anything, right? It's just a normal, go to school, get a job, and that's what it is, right? Unfortunately, school was not my thing. I did try to go to college. I dropped out. It's just too boring. Nobody seems to catch my attention. And I decided to find my own route, right? Over these last 10 years, it's been a bit difficult, but I wouldn't change it for anything. And there's really just one thing I want y'all to see that completely changed my life, right? And this is how I just determine everything. Just depending what exactly you want to do, right? Again, it doesn't require a lot of money to be able to do this, but it does require a specific type of skill set and some things that you want to do. So I don't know if y'all can see this. Did y'all see this? All right, so this is just one of the main things that I want to talk about, right? It's, again, this is the most basic and simple understanding when it comes to business. It's nothing complicated, but this is what I want y'all to understand, right? This is what actually makes up a proper business. And it's not, if I do this business, it's going to take off to the top, or if, right, this one's better than that one. It's just all depends up on you, right? What do you like the best? It's all a headache. It's all an ass whooping. So which one do you want to deal with? And this is the thing, right? So number one thing, sales, right? The number one thing I want everybody to know is sales. You cannot do anything in life without sales, right? And when people think about sales, they think it's a lot of lying and convincing and a lot of tricks. You know, that's not how I see sales at all. The way I do sales, I've been doing sales for probably my whole life. And even you have, right? But you just don't realize it. It can be something as simple and as little as your kids, right? There's a lot of kids that overpower you and they cry and they want everything their way. So you just give in and you give it to them, right? When you're going on a date, when you meet somebody and you want something to go your way, your husband, your partners, whatever the case is, right? You're trying to sell them on the idea of something, on why they should be dating you, or why you're the best decision, or why they should go do this with you, whatever the case is, right? You're always going to be selling on something. And even at a job interview, you have to try to convince yourself, you have to try to sell yourself, right? To gain and earn that position. Sales is not something that you should be thinking that is bad, right? It's something that you're doing for somebody, right? What am I doing for y'all? I'm providing the opportunities and the skills and the education that y'all need to advance more in life, right? For what reason? Well, you get a better life, right? One of the first persons in my life that opened my eyes to this was was one of the owners of a company, and he told me if I wanted to have full control of my life, I had to learn sales. That changed my life forever, right? I come from working at well, I've done plenty of labor, physical jobs, right? Working at a warehouse, mowing lawns, working at a restaurant. Um, I mean, you name it. I've done it all. I've had over 36 jobs in the last 10 years or so. So that's what I want y'all to see, right? Your whole life is really going to be sales, and you must get good at it. And again, it's not about convincing anybody. It's about being able to provide the pros and the cons of something, so people can choose that, right? It's your risk over your reward, right? If your reward outweighs your risk, then do it, right? Like nothing's going to happen. And I can confidently say that because I've experienced the worst of the worst. I've never really knew these basic principles. So this is what I want to share with y'all. Sales is the number one thing that you must master in life if you want to get good, right? If you want to get good at business in general and you want to have full control of your life, you must get good at sales. You're going to have to show people and prove them why you're even worthy of something. You're going to have to convince them of something, right? And again, it's just your work will show everything, but it's about letting them see your results, right? If they see your results and they see who you are as a person, they're going to be sold on you. Why? Because you're trustworthy. Even though you might not see that as sales, it still is, right? Even when I was in the car business, a lot of people, a lot of people came in, they didn't even know me and they hated me. They just said, "You're just another car salesman." And I was confused. I was like, "What do you mean I'm a car salesman? Another car salesman?" And that's what they always focus on, right? Number one thing they focus on is, well, I got ripped off by a car salesman, so everybody's the same. Everybody's mindset works that way. Well, because this person did this to me, now everybody's like that. So, but whatever, right? That's just sales. The second thing, marketing. All right, so marketing. My bad. So, marketing. Marketing is a very, very broad topic, right? And I'm not going to dive too deep into that, but one thing I want y'all to know, this goes hand in hand. Without marketing, there's no sales. And without marketing, there's no sales. Or without sales, there's no marketing, right? In order to close a deal, you must make sales, right? Marketing gets you the exposure that you need in order to start generating traffic. I've been doing marketing for about 8 years now, and that's how I used to sell cars, right? I'll just tell you how I started. When I'm sure you've been to a car dealership before trying to buy a car, and all of a sudden you start getting attacked. Everybody runs up to you, and you have 3-4 people trying to sell you, and now it feels very uncomfortable. And that's why most people hate going to the car dealerships, right? Well, that was never me. That annoyed me. So what I did was try to figure out another route, right? What can I do to stand out or be different, right? I'm not going to stand outside in the sun waiting for somebody to get here. 2, I'm not going to be racing and running to somebody trying to catch that person. So what I did was I learned marketing, right? Now, marketing was something as simple as Facebook ads. Through Facebook ads, I was able to expose myself a lot more and understand and learn more about copywriting, psychology, the whole headlines, the funnels. And that is where everything started going down, right? That's where it took me. Now, I was very good at sales, but I wasn't good at marketing, right? So I had to learn how to talk and sell online. And the moment people start seeing how easy you lay things out, it will remove a lot of their problems, right? When it comes to marketing, For example, the car rental business, right? The only reason I was able to leave my hometown to jump into a completely new city where I knew nobody, right? I didn't know anybody. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no friends. I didn't have nothing to fall back on. Nothing, completely nothing, right? The only reason I was able to do that was because I understood marketing. Now, I knew I was good at marketing, but I really wanted to test it, like to see, am I really that good at marketing? And the only way I could find out is if I gambled with myself, right? So I really had to dive in deep with marketing. I had to drop a few thousand in there and it was go time, right? I went and got my cars and then I started marketing it, right? Now every business is a different type of marketing. When it comes to the car rental business, there's more online marketing rather than offline, right? Now, offline, it's more of like phone calls, SMS, ringless voicemails, direct mail, things of that nature. Online is more of like Google Ads, pay-per-clicks, online funnels, sales funnels, YouTube, Facebook, social media, all that stuff, right? So you have to understand which marketing strategy is going to be the best for your type of business and what you're looking for, right? One of the best marketing strategies for whatever it is you do is going to be online personal branding, right? You want to have an online presence as a person because now, let's say women, right? Women are trying to create clothes or candles or hats or whatever it is. If you already have that online presence, it's a lot easier for you to start promoting yourself and for people to start buying from you. So that is one of the biggest things, right? Really understand marketing and understand what marketing channel is going to be working the best for you. Now, marketing is not a one-time thing where you say, all right, this one works and it's going to run forever. That's not how it works, right? Just like everything else, marketing gets outdated, so you have to keep refreshing and trying new things. It's about creativity. It's about changing certain words, certain colors. It's about understanding psychology, right? If you understand what triggers a person's mind, what gets them to take action and think forward, right? Then that is where you will get them to fully trust you, right? And that's the biggest thing here. How can you get somebody to trust you without saying so much? So, again, marketing. Marketing is everything. So before you jump into a business, you have to understand what marketing strategy is going to work best for you, right? So you have sales and marketing. Once your marketing is running, now you have all the traffic coming in. You have the leads. You're generating all the leads. You're flooding your floor, right, with leads, and you just don't know what to do. Well, that's where sales comes in. If you have somebody that's very cold, right, they cold-blooded on the phone, and they could just get on the phone and it comes out very natural, right? They close 30, 40, 50% of it. You know, it's a wrap. That's where all the money's really going to be coming in, right? And again, this goes hand to hand. So you have to make sure your marketing is very good in order for your sales to go good. Or you need to make sure your sales is really good in case your marketing is shit. So again, you just always want to make sure you have multiple strategies for everything, right? So the next one and the most important one, so a product or a service, right? You want to make sure you have a good product or you're providing a good service. Now, let's talk about services, right? This is where a lot of your time will start going into. The reason I'm not a huge fan of services is because it takes up a lot of your time. It takes up a lot of your time, and you're really building a brick and mortar business, right? The car rental business, same thing. It's cool. It's fun. I get to drive cars for free. They pay themselves off. I get to build up my business credit. I get to build up my personal credit. But I still created a job, right? It's something I still have to almost be there for every day. Even though I just run the whole marketing aspect of it, which is the driving in the clients. it's still creating a job for yourself, right? And one of the biggest things I want you to think about right now is if everything was to go to shit again, like COVID, right? During COVID, everything shut down. Will your business still be able to thrive through those moments? There was a ton of businesses that shut down during the shutdown, right? And that's because they weren't able to operate any other way than to be there. And that's really one of the things you have to focus on. What type of business can you create that can keep you, or where you can produce money online or being on the phone, right? Now that I've been able to help people with consulting and getting their credit correct or on point, now it's a lot easier for me. I could just make a phone call or I could just be on the computer, right? And it really comes down to that. What type of work do you want to do? You could do the cars. It's fun, but it's a lot more work, right? You could drive whatever car you want. You could drive it for free. You can make good money on it, but it's still a job. Airbnb, same thing, right? You can become an owner of all the buildings that you're getting as well, that you're doing short-term rentals on, but it's still very risky, right? To me, I don't like taking risk. I focus more on where I don't have to be there, so it could drive me income, right? The less I'm there, that's it. That's what seals the deal for me, right? So if you're really thinking about going into business, that should be one of the first things you start thinking about. What type of business could you create that where you don't have to be there every single day, where it does not take a lot of capital to start up, and you could just leverage your credit, right? You could just leverage your credit, and then marketing. What type of marketing strategy could you use? Marketing does require some money, so just a heads up. Most of these things will take some money, but I will give y'all a tip, all right? You can open up an LLC, S corporation, C corporate, whatever it is you want, for free. How do you do that? Well, go to Doctor of Credit, right? Go to the Doctor of Credit and go do some research on what credit cards are actually offering some incentives right now. $500, let's say. And for these incentives, they're going to require you to spend $3,000, right? The moment you spend $3,000, then you're able to get that money. So we're in this to make money, right? We're not in this to spend money. We like things for free. We like doing shit for free, and we like getting paid for it, right? So how do we get this for free? If you go on Doctor of Credit, you're going to find a credit card on there that will give you a $500 reward, whatever it is, right? So what you want to do is, man, it's too much sauce. It's too much sauce. I don't know if I should give it to you, but I'm going to just drop it for you, all right? You go and what you can do is buy multiple gift cards, right? Buy multiple gift cards of whatever, $500 each, I believe is the limit, up to $3,000. So that means 6, and buy 10 if you have to. Get that money back, get that reward, get those cards, the gift cards, and pay off the credit card, and you just pulled out $500 out of thin air. Right? So because you pulled that money out of thin air, now you go and open up an LLC. Again, and remember, if you don't remember, just go ahead and watch the video back again. I got everything broken down step by step. Just make sure you're setting up the business correctly, because it will be more of a headache to get anything fixed, right? It's called an amendment. And that usually takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months, just depending how lazy the people are being. So focus on that a lot more, right? That's a lot more than really understanding the credit. It's these three things right here. Are you good at sales? If you're not, then chances are go find somebody, right? If you don't go find somebody that's good at sales, you're gonna have to go learn. You're gonna have to go learn sales, right? You're gonna have to become good at this stuff. me personally, I would say go learn sales, right? You're going to need it for everything. It's going to give you a way better lifestyle overall. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to you're going to be able to get whatever you want. You're going to be able to get exactly the deals it is that you want, right? Whether that's real estate, whether that's cars, whether that's friends, whether that's traveling, whatever the case is, you're going to be able to get exactly what it is that you're looking for, right? Way better deals. You're going to land the jobs that you're looking for. Just sales overall gets you a way better quality of life, right? The next thing is marketing. Understand marketing. What type of different channels could you use? How can they benefit you? The pros and the cons. How much money do you have to invest? There's a lot of people that are just dumping in about $100 into marketing. You know, $100 isn't going to change your life. You have to take this shit seriously. If you're jumping into business, you got to take it seriously, and you have to really invest some money into this, right? Before that is invest money into yourself. Invest money into yourself so you can start really taking things to another level. And for one, get a mentor, my recommendation. But somebody specifically that specializes on the specific thing that you're looking to jump into, right? Next thing is product or service. What type of product can you create? What type of product can you create that can make people happy, right? What type of service can you provide that'll make people happy, that actually makes sense towards the money? And you have to also understand your audience, right? What type of audience is it that you're trying to reach out to? And what's their demographics look like, right? What type of money do they make? How do they think? How do they act? Where do they live? What are their interests? What do they hate? Everything just ties in, right? And that's something you have to be very well aware of. You can't try to sell life insurance to somebody in a very low income community because it's very unlikely. They're more on a survival mindset rather than caring about their life, which is, unfortunate, but reality. And once you get these three things down, that's it. That'll sum it up for you, right? Get an idea of what everybody else is selling their service or product for. I'm not saying sell it for the same price either, right? There's a lot of things that I do and I sell that are way more expensive than every other person. Reason why? I believe in myself. My quality is way better on everything. I over deliver on every single thing that I want to. And I'm just a better person overall, right? Like, can't nobody beat me. And that's the mindset that you got to have when you come into this game. So again, learn how to take full control of your life, right? Sales. The moment you learn how to take full control of your life and what you want, and you have clarity on what it is exactly that you want, then that's when life will get fun for you, right? So anyways, we're going to go ahead and cut it off right here. We'll go ahead and I'll have another one here in the next few weeks. I'm going to be having a lot more of these. If you do like it, go ahead and send me a message. Go ahead and subscribe to it, and let's see how else I can help you out. I've also put together some ebooks that break every single thing down step by step, from the personal all the way from personal credit, right? Everything that I gave y'all, everything in depth, detail by detail. I also provide all the bonus templates, right? Which is the credit repair letters, the letters that I've used and my mentors have used to repair all this credit. I also have all the cheat sheets, what specific data points the banks and the lenders are looking at, your income, your credit score, what bureaus they're pulling from. I got the business ebook structured out. It's really long, but it gives you everything step by step. What companies to apply for. The first ones, so they're broken down by tiers, right? So it tells you which ones to apply for first, month 1, month 3, month 6, and down the line, right? So I got everything broken down to the business ebook. I usually sell them for about $197, $147, but I got a little offer going on right now. So if y'all want to go ahead and check it out, I'll go ahead and make sure I post a link somewhere within the video below the description, and just go ahead and check it out. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep this up, but we'll go ahead. If I get enough requests, then I'll keep it on for a few more days. And then we'll go from there. So any questions or whatever comes up, just feel free to let me know, and I'll go ahead and break it down on the next